Hey, people. I forgot to put one of the most interesting things in that last movie. I was reading about ashes and dust, the hopper and the happer. And it was in this next line, and he caused it to be proclaimed as wise of, WIZOF, wise of, or the vise of, to give advice, the vise of, visor, to yammer and publish, and he caused it to be proclaimed and published, throughout Nineveh by a decree. But this word published, this is the base word for, and God said. That's how everything was created. Genesis 1:3, and God said, let there be light. And God published, let there be light, is what that would change that to. Who yammer, the way yammer, why yammer. And that's how everything was created. And on the second day, why yammer, let there be an expanse, and publish the waters, publish the sprouts, and publish the lights, and published. And they got a ton of words for and he said, or word. There's I don't know, looks like about 80 of them there. They could have picked a different word for a different meaning. Even got America in there one time. And this is the word that's used the most, 1,948 times. This in just 700 times. But there's a bunch of words used one time, very few times. And if there was a different word, they could have used a different word there. This and Lamore, the command, 936 times. But yeah, this yammers is the one that's used the most. This is the base word. The wise of, to yammer, to publish, benign, benign we. Benign, gentle and kindly, or not harmful, mild and favorable, unpotent. Benign tumor is unpotent. It's not doing any damage. The wise of, to yammer, benign from those. From those, M is from, not by, but from, and then THOS, those. The final M is a S. Benign from those. Them millet and godly too, as is nobles, and GDLY, godly too. Command, L is the tongue, the bind, control word, to command. The command heads. We beam, BEME. We beam, WEBME. Beam is an old English word. It means to sound the trumpet, Da-da-da-da, here comes the king. The buffer. This is usually the morning, the buffer. It means the place in between. The beam, the buffer. The trumpets to let to everybody hush up, and all hail is HALEI is all hails. The heads we beam, we trumpet in the buffer, to let everybody know all hail. The godly too is coming. To exits, to EX, this is 2X, so it's EXTS, exits on, and exits on. The law, backwards and forwards. The law from oath, M from OTH. The oath, and then backwards the other way. The oath, it too. Mama, Mila, MELA together. The law Lawr, the lawyer you're of. Umays, Umys, Umays, the lotus, Lauts, the lotus, is it too, Ist, and then Tu, two T's with a dot. The lotus, is it too, and drinking the lotus. Wise of, to yammer, benign from those, them mill to godly, will command, will amor, will command. Heads, EADS, they give the E, the HE, HEADS, the heads, we beam, the buffer, to buff the noise down, and exits on law, from oath it to mum of Mila, mum's the word, to keep it quiet, of the gathering, Mila, M-E-L-A, the Mila, warrior, W-O-R-I-R, warrior of Umays, lotus, is it too. Lotus was a big thing in Egypt. It was in all the artwork. You see it on this end of the boats in the oldest artwork. It's on this boat of the sun. You see it in all the ancient artwork with the boat of Ra. It had this lotus. Some people claim that it's a time portal. But it was a big deal to the gods and the kings. You see the god sits on the upside down flag of the Trinity of Jacob, or the East India Trading Company flag with the lotus. But there's another word I ran into up here. It's up here at the top in line 2, the message. And so you see a dot in the Q here, and this means it pronounces the ka. And here there's not, and it's pronounced as the F, and it's who for, F-R-A, for. And to call, proclaim, to read. And that's why when you hit the golf ball, you holler for, And this is the same word they'll use when it says, and he called his name, to call out, recite. And the jittle who for, hyle, backwards, Hyla. That's the word meaning matter. And who for hyle, who for matter to, and then backwards of forwards, E-A-I-R-Q, the hark. And then the other way is, the, and then cry, Q-R-Y, cries, and then A-E is ash, so it's E-S. To hark the cries, the message. And so not to hark the cries is not the message, it's the messenger. And who for matter to hark the cries, hearken, to listen to listen, coming from hark. Bible prophets and saints always telling people to hearken. How they'd ever have you of, in how vanish in it, command, Lamar, fuse lit of, evening, E-V-E-N, E-V-N-I-N, and then back the other way is eyes, is ing, evening. The fuse lit of evening, knew the air, and then edged, the edged is to put it out there, to put the information out there. The edged will who for hyle, for matter to hark, the cry is raised. And so this word great here, the jittle, the godel, in the Tower of Babel, it's the same word, the godel, and they'll switch the dot up from the G to the D. And so one of them is the tower, and one of them is the guy in the tower hollering, to the air-edged will, who for matter to hark the cry is raised. I can't ever kill. I-K-N-A, and then the D with the dotted is a T-H. Can't, H-V-R, can't ever kill. Whiffs, June, J-U-N-E, June, the beginning of summer. And the whiffs, you could smell the flowers, and the lilies, and the lotus, and the trumpets. The whiffs, June. Will it, heaven, heaven. Look at this backwards, H-E-V-E-N-I-N, heaven in. Will it of heaven in. I knew could ever you, when in new height, air, elude, E-L-U-D, elude, goldal, of all his. This word 430, this is the same word as God. Everything in this, God, judges, angels, God. It's in the same category as the first time God comes up, A-L-E-I-S, all his, of all his. From the let cells, time is T-I-M-I-S. So I've read, Jonah 1, 2, and 3, and everything in these books is words that are used throughout the rest of the Bible, but they change the meaning of them a lot in these books. But you can see how they change this, in this Jonah 1, starts the same as how they, but this isn't a D, now it's got the dotted, it's a TH. You see how this was the same, but there's no dot here, so it's they, T-H-E-Y-D. They would, how they would ever, dever. And so you can see how this word, Nineveh, with the tack, it reads backwards and forwards. And so, you can see heaven in there, and you can see evening. If you just take the H off, it's just the E. E-V-N-I-N-I is evening. And so heaven is the evening. The sun went down, and now it's cooled down, and you can see the stars and smell the flowers of June, J-U-N-E. And so this final K, I told you that I believe it pronounces a T when it's on the end, and sometimes have the two dots in it, and sometimes it have a T in it. And so it's possible that it pronounces as a K with the dots and a T when it has the T in it. And here they say it means go or went. And it's in a list of, it looks like over 200 words that they say mean go. But you see the same word, sometimes go doesn't fit. So they say it means come. And so it's the same word number, but they just put it by itself here. And you can see, this is another word they say means came. It's a whole new category. But this is the first word that comes up, in day one. And there was, let there be ye-ha. And there was, and ye-ha, the wage. So nothing just comes to be, everything has its wage. Somebody does the work. So the word they say is heaven, is the same is, S-M-I-S. The same is. What it means is, the same is the earth, is the first line in the Bible. And so, the writings here match up what's going on the earth. And when you're on a boat, the buffer is the right-hand man, the first mate. And so the pictures that give you clues, there's Isis has the throne on her head, she'd be the captain. And you got gods, Thoth and Ra. You know, this would be the buffer back here. There's nobody else to his right. All right, I'm going to cut this off here. Good day.